Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Michigan State's football team wrapped up their non-conference slate this past Saturday by hosting Youngstown State. It wasn't pretty at times, and head coach Jonathan Smith knows his team can play a whole lot better with Big Ten play beginning this weekend. Here's a quick recap of how last Saturday's game went here at Spartan Stadium. Jonathan Smith was looking to become the first head coach in Michigan State history to open up his first two seasons with 3-0 starts. Youngstown State would start this game on a long drive that ended in a field goal. Michigan State's first offensive drive would end in the end zone. A little trickery. The ball gets in the hands of Rodney Bullard Jr. He gets in for his first touchdown as a Spartan. In the second quarter, Michigan State's next drive, Mekhi Frazier runs in the 1-yard TD to make it 14-3. The Penguins, though, were not going down without a fight in the first half. Jaden Gilbert broke off a long run that set up Youngstown State in scoring position, and Gilbert would cap off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run, cutting the MSU lead to 14-10. Martin Connington would add a field goal just before halftime to make it a 7-point game at the break. Then in the second half, the Spartans started on fire. They got a punt, and Amari Kelly nearly returned it all the way to the end zone. He sets up the offense in great scoring position, and Brandon Cullis would cap it off with a 4-yard touchdown run, making it 24-10. Still in the third quarter, how about Michael Masunis making his second touchdown catch of the season? Aiden Childs with a 28-yard dime to Masunis in the end zone, putting the Spartans up 31-10. Youngstown State did not go away, though. This was a 9-point game in the fourth quarter until Elijah Tautoliver ran in a 22-yard touchdown run to make it 41-24. It would be the final score as the Spartans improved to 3-0. Our Kara Adams was there last Saturday and has more.
Despite the flat start, Michigan State found a way to get it done. They defeated Youngstown State in their final non-conference game of the season.
I think we got more to us. And again, I'm starting with myself, the staff, and in our preparation. Again, I don't want to take away from Youngstown. I think Youngstown's going to win some games in their conference and things. But I would have loved to just been a little bit cleaner, especially defensively. A couple explosive plays. Did not think we needed to be giving those up. And then in the run game, we're about balance. Our first and second down run game, want it to be better.
Aiden Childs once again led his team in rushing with 76 yards.
Thought he ran the ball really well again. Fourth down, right? He goes and gets the thing. Quarterback draw. We'll see about trying to hurdle someone who's not really going down. We're always coaching, but I like his game right now. Decision-making, accuracy, seen it well, managing the thing, playing really hard. I thought he did a good job again tonight.
Childs also refound his connection with tight end Jack Velling. Velling missed most of fall camp due to injury.
Me and Aiden were on the same page today, and hopefully continue that in the future. O-line was protecting great. All the receivers running great routes, whether it's to take a safety or, get another guy open. And then, just next man up, kind of the theme.
Defensive coordinator Joe Rossi has said he wants to rotate different guys in and out. And junior captain Jordan Hall thinks that system benefits them long term.
First of all, it keeps kind of those starters fresh throughout the course of the game, and just looking long term into the season. When, it's a long season, people get injured. We had some injuries today. Having those guys being able to get reps early on in the season. So in those bigger games, maybe we need those guys to have reps. They're ready to step up and they feel comfortable being out there. It's not their first time being thrown into a game in week 9 against a big opponent.
MSU gets about a week to clean things up before a trip out west for a primetime showdown at USC. In Spartan Stadium, I'm Kara Adams.
Thank you, Kara. The game with MSU and USC is going to be an 11 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. It'll mark the first meeting between the Spartans and Trojans since 1990. And later in the show, we'll sit down with head coach Jonathan Smith to talk more about the matchup. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk with a player who has been a bright spot for the Spartan offense thus far in the season. We'll see you soon.
When you're shopping, do you get cash back with cash?
Nope.
What about when you use a debit card?
Not a chance.
But when you use MSU FCU's Cashback Plus,
Heck yeah.
get up to 20% cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Dining out? Cash back. Online shopping? Cash back. Home improvement? Cash back. Discover more at msufcu.org/cashbackplus.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Michigan State redshirt junior tight end Michael Masunis is tied for second on the team in touchdowns this season. Masunis has battled injuries throughout his time in East Lansing, and Ardesharian McBroom recently sat down with him to see how he has battled through that adversity and how he's now making an impact for the Spartan offense.
From an early age, Michigan State redshirt junior Michael Masunis knew he wanted his life to include football at some capacity. And before he even had his eyes set on high school, it was a foregone conclusion in his head that he would play at the highest level of college athletics.
Definitely somewhere around middle school, because that's when I started doing like USA football camps and started going around, and like I've always been one of the bigger kids growing up, and started seeing some people in other places, like, you know, we can see what this goes. And then I think we definitely focused in on football and got lucky and got some nice offers and got to come here.
Masunis says he was a little bit bigger than most kids when he was growing up, and due to that, he would typically play a few ages up, but he used those early growing pains as lessons.
I think it helped physically and mentally, like, to prepare going against people who are bigger. And also, like, growing up with a brother who was 7 years older, I got to play with his friends, so definitely playing with bigger kids helped me be more physical in that manner.
You know, through playing different positions, how did you kind of land on playing tight end?
Rob Gronkowski was always my favorite player growing up, so I've always liked his play style, and I think I kind of like grew into a tight end. I love catching the ball and I love blocking, so I was like, this is the perfect mix.
So if you get a touchdown this week, you know, we might see a Gronk spike?
I wish. I just don't want to get a 15-yard penalty. If that was legal, I definitely would.
From watching Gronkowski, Masunis would start to develop into one of the top tight end prospects in his class out of high school, leading to Michigan State hoping to land the talented tight end.
They were a little later in my recruiting, but I think once I came out here, it was, I think, junior year of the summer. I think I came out here and I definitely got to see the offense and got to see how Big Ten football plays, and I think that definitely fit my play style and my build of Big Ten tight ends, bigger people, and just more physical.
Last season as a redshirt sophomore, Masunis would only play in 4 games as he would need season-ending shoulder surgery, an injury Masunis says tested him in more ways than one.
Yeah, so freshman year I tore my other labrum, so I had been through the process of dealing with that. So I kind of knew what I was going into, surgery-wise. I tried to rehab it back, but I wasn't able to get back to where I wanted to. And I think as my family, coaches, everyone, we all came to agreement, all right, let's get this done so I can be back. It was definitely tough, but I think the thing that helped me most was obviously trusting God's plan. I've been through it before, so I knew what not to do, what to do, and definitely being around the team more helped, being around my friends and family helped.
What was the process like for you, when you got the green light that you were able to return to action? Because I know you said you wanted to be ready for spring ball.
It was awesome, because it's a hard, long 4 months that you got to go through. You got your ups and downs through it all, but I think you just trust in the process, listen to the trainers and stuff. But it was definitely a nice feeling to be back out there.
How beneficial, I know you talked about God and family, how beneficial were those 2 key pieces to your life when you were going through this process?
Very important. Those are the main people I talk to all day, and they're the most supportive and definitely helped me, and I just trust in the process with God and his plan, because you never know where he's going to take you.
After dealing with 2 different injuries and finding his footing in the program, a new coach in Jonathan Smith was coming to East Lansing to lead the Spartans, and Masunis was left with the decision on whether to stay at MSU or enter the transfer portal.
We definitely talked about it, but it was also at the point I had no film. I was just coming off an injury, and I was like, I want to give this staff a chance. They had a good offense back at Oregon State. I think I could fit here very well. Velling was very successful back then. I was like, I think this could be a good opportunity. So let's see how the spring goes, and spring went great, and it was awesome, and I loved them, and I was like, yeah, let's just stay.
You got a few games under you guys' belt this season. What's it been like to not only return to the field for practice, but return to actual game action?
It's been awesome. The fans have been awesome this year. Being around that environment, seeing everything happening, I think we got something special here. Like, it's just a different energy this year, and I'm loving it.
And with the work the Spartans say they have put in behind the scenes, as well as Michigan State getting off to a hot start this season, Masunis isn't mixing words on what the goal is for this program this season.
Our goal is a Big Ten championship. I think everyone who plays wants to go win a championship, and that's obviously one of ours. We want to make it there and go win. And I think it comes down to week after week, focusing on the team at hand, not getting ahead.
What do you think the biggest difference is between, I guess, year one when Coach Smith came in and now where you guys kind of understand what is expected of you a little bit more?
Like, this is like year two for most of us. Just going through that year one, like it was tough. We didn't know what we were doing sometimes, but just going through it to now we have those reps where we're able to adjust.
Having gone through 2 surgeries and pushing through the hard times, Masunis is proud of the way he has handled the adversity that has been dealt to him. He also wants to help bring that winning culture back to Michigan State football. Another player who has had a great start to the season for MSU, punter Ryan Eckley, will sit down with the best punter in the country right after the break.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
It's rare to see a punter as beloved by a fan base as Michigan State's Ryan Eckley. From his booming kicks that get down inside the 5-yard line to the swagger he carries himself with on the field, Spartan Nation has loved every bit of it this season. Our Tyler Driesinga recently sat down with Eckley and has more on kicking and confidence for Eckley.
I tell my friends punting is winning. You know, if we're throwing out good punts, then we're going to win games. You know, like I know we don't like seeing me out there. You know, the other team and my mom enjoy seeing me run on the field. But a big punt can change the game.
Eckley is a Spartan legend.
Ryan Eckley is making a name for himself at one of the most anonymous positions in sports. The MSU punter earned National Punter of the Week honors after the win over Boston College. And he's pinned 7 of his 10 punts this season inside the 20-yard line.
You can't do it any better.
With the season he's having, it's entirely possible Eckley has a career in the NFL ahead of him, something he would have never imagined as a kid in Florida.
The journey's been crazy. It's definitely pretty, you know, hectic, ups and downs. I thought I was going to play quarterback for a little bit, and then as a kid, you know, growing up, I want to be a quarterback. And you know, my mom's 5'2", my dad's 5'11", probably didn't have a great shot at playing quarterback at the college level. So then, yeah, you just stick with kicking and punting, something that's like I was a kid growing up and learning how to kick the ball, getting to high school, getting better, and figure out maybe punting is what I want to do. And then it's really cool. I mean, the Mike Sadler quote, "The prize is in the journey." Like, that's a real thing. You know, the journey's been really special.
And how does a kid from Florida end up as a punter at Michigan State?
Yeah, a lot of it's opportunity out of high school. You know, I had some offers to some other Power 5 programs, and it was all PWOs out of high school, including here. And that was really just opportunity. I come here and know that I redshirt for a year behind Bryce, who at the time was the best punter in the country, and then hopefully take over the reins, which is how it ended up working out.
Eckley won the starting job as a redshirt freshman, and all he did that fall was pin 24 punts inside the 20 and earned freshman All-American honors.
What allowed you to find such success so quickly?
I think it's just confidence, you know, going out there and telling myself that I'm the best punter in the country every time I kick it. Whether that's true or not, that's, you know, up to other people to decide, but that's how I have to think in order to perform at the level that I can. It's just confidence.
And I'm sure that confidence is, you know, easy to find now that you've had all of this success. Where were you able to find that confidence? Where did that stem from early on?
I think it's really just been something that's just how I've looked at sports. You know, sports are, at the end of the day, they call it the kid's game, and you're out there playing football for a living, right? Like, this is what I'm doing now. And I just want to have fun with it. This is awesome. I'm a college kid playing football right now. So like, why not have fun with it? Why not be confident? Why not go out and do my thing every time?
Eckley's confidence is evident in his celebrations.
It's really just kind of heat of the moment. The first time I did the Conor McGregor was in 2023 against Iowa. And that was just like, it's like I said earlier, I'm having fun. You know, I'm just kicking the ball. My job is to kick a football. And when you do it at the high level that you're expected to, when it can benefit the team as far as like we can put them on the 1 yard line and get a safety, like that's awesome. Like, we're just having fun. We're playing complementary football, special teams, helping defense, helping offense, and I'm gonna celebrate a little bit, you know. Receiver scores a touchdown, they can celebrate. I should be able to celebrate after being fun.
In addition to the Conor McGregor walk, Eckley will imitate a golf swing after a perfectly placed punt.
I'm a golf addict, bad. I've played all summer long. Sam Edwards and I play every Monday and Thursday together during season, as long as we can until it's not too cold. Got down to like a 5.5 handicap this year. Like golf is all I think about. It's golf and football is my whole brain.
Where did that love of golf stem from?
My dad. My dad is a golf addict, and it thrills him that I'm as addicted as he is now.
Eckley's talent and confidence have made him one of the nation's premier punters. His exuberance and authenticity have helped him enjoy every minute.
Getting recruited as a specialist, you get less opportunities in most positions. So getting the opportunity here and then winning the job here my second year and now performing at the level we are as a team is honestly, it's really special. And being a part of all of this has been very surreal, and I'm extremely grateful to be, a Spartan.
You could argue special teams has been the biggest strength for Michigan State's football team this season, and Eckley is a big reason for it. Coming up after our final break, we'll sit down with head coach Jonathan Smith to talk more about the win over Youngstown State and what lies ahead with USC this Saturday. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
For the first time this season, Michigan State's football team will be on the road. The Spartans went 3-0 in non-conference play. They had some good moments and had some not so good moments in a 41-24 victory over Youngstown State this past Saturday. We sat down with Jonathan Smith this week to talk about this upcoming Saturday's game at USC and heading back to the West Coast.
We'll just start, you guys improved to 3-0 with the win over Youngstown State. Just what did you like and maybe what did you not like about that game?
Yeah, I think you liked some of the efficiency offensively and just in regards to scores per possession. I think seven scores on 10 possessions. Off the time, that's pretty good. Not pleased kind of in the run game, first and second down. We got more to us there, whether it's identification, being more physical, making a guy miss. So we want to be better there. Defensively, actually contained, which I think the guy was a really good quarterback. Running the ball kind of contained him. We got misaligned a couple of times for creases. Want to be better on third and fourth down. Defensively, I thought special teams solid for the most part, and then that's been a strength for us. Obviously, the huge punt return by Amari to start the second half was a game-changing play.
When you are trying to improve the run game of identifying maybe what hole to run through, how do you work on that? Is it just practice or just reps?
Yeah, let's start with who's identifying. A lot of times that's the front, making sure we're on the same page, but it's huge. It's not just 5 guys. I mean, we got tight ends there. The back's got to be on the same page. Angle, departure from the back, the physicality, movement of the O-line, that needs to go into it. Receiver play, even some high, safety pictures where they should be going to the next level. Turns into then the back being able to make a guy miss in space. So all of that combined to not good enough in the run game.
Seemed like it was a good game for the tight ends, especially in the receiving end. I guess, what did you like about that position Saturday?
Liked kind of in the red zone aspect of it. Mike's has the touchdown catch. It was good to get Velling, huge third down catch, also multiple in the red zone, and those guys can be a factor. And I want to see that continue to grow. Because they're good players. I think they fit in the scheme in regards to our run, play, action, pass. And so that was nice to see those guys make some plays.
Jack probably didn't have maybe the season he was expecting last year, and then he gets hurt and he misses some fall camp. I guess, where have you seen him just continue to get better each week now as he's coming back from injury?
He's got some determination because he's overcome some disappointment, call it, during the season. Injury lingered even during the season, then come into the fall camp. He's a really smart player, savvy in route running, understands what we're asking him at the run game and protection side of it. So it's good to see him trending in a good good direction.
How has having a veteran like that been able to help Michael, too, now grow in his game as well?
Yeah, Mike, I think about Jaden and how he's coming along as a true freshman and in that room. Jack has got some leadership. I mean, Mike's pretty solid now. I mean, he understands some things. I think those two are working really well together. Jack, Mike, you throw in Parachek as he continues to grow and seeing his reps go up, and then Jaden Savory being a true freshman. So that tight end room has a good mix of kind of age, talent, and maturity.
Now, as you get ready for your first road trip of the year, it's not just a normal road trip. You're heading out west, obviously 11 p.m. kickoff time out here. I guess, what was your first initial reaction when you saw the kickoff?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's out of our control. Didn't love it. I think about our fan base. Didn't love it. That's going to be a late night. At the same time, we don't control it, and so the aspect of like we got to go and prepare to go play. And that's part of the the uniqueness of the conference now, coast to coast, and the times you play. There's going to be some. You need to have some flexibility, I guess.
What are you guys planning maybe to do differently than a normal road trip or even a home game here?
We're leaving a day earlier, so we're going to go over on Thursday, trying to get acclimated a little bit of the time change. It's a longer trip, so get over there. Maybe trying to allow them to sleep in a little longer on Friday, Saturday. Outside of that, the routine and what we're doing specifically on Friday, Saturday will be pretty similar.
You mentioned in your press conference you guys are going to go see the Pacific Ocean. What went into that decision to want to just get the guys out and see that?
Yeah, some of the time where we're staying and landing is right there. It's so it's pretty convenient to get there. Also, there's some value. It's a longer flight. Letting these guys get off, and walk around a little bit, work some things out. I do think, hey, you make this kind of trip. I didn't, count it or take roll on the team. I'm not certain everybody has kind of been to the Pacific Ocean, so we'll spend maybe a half hour over there, let them work out the flight a little bit, and see the sunset.
Homecoming and away for you as well as Aiden and a few other guys, but just for you and Aiden too to go back home. How do you treat that game of going back to LA?
I think it's a cool aspect of college football if you can get back to playing kind of closer to home. I know it'll be something special for Aiden. He'll have a lot of support there. I was impressed. I myself went back January, watched our basketball team against the two LA schools, and how many Spartans are out that way. We got a great contingent, kind of on the West Coast, Southern California. So excited to see the kind of the green and white in the stadium.
Is that surprising at all to see that many out there?
It was fun. Yeah, a little bit surprising just how much. We did a couple of events, like I was saying, in January, and the thing was packed, and there's some real energy out of those fans on the West Coast.
Getting ready to take on USC. Obviously, they just got into the top 25. But what have you seen about them that makes them a top 25 team?
Explosive talent, jumps off really on both sides. Offensively, I think they get a lot of notoriety, which is deserved for how many points they're scoring, how explosive they can be in the run and pass game. But I think defensively, the havoc they're creating, that front seven is talented, physical, they can move, tackling in the tackles for loss, sacks. They've got great stats in those two areas.
Playing in the Coliseum, I know you've coached there before and you've been there a few times. So what makes it unique versus other college football venues?
I think it's a great place, and there's a lot of great places. I think the history of it, it's been around a long time. Some of the, the Olympics being played there. The Dodgers used to play there in the 50s. It has some similarities, I was saying, to the Spartan Stadium of the grass, right? We're on natural grass, sharing a tunnel, kind of the bowl shaped and things. And so it's a unique, historic place.
With this game being obviously out there and the time, everything like that, having a bye the week after, does that at all help in a way with this week, or is that not good?
I think it helps. I mean, we're going to return. It's going to be, 10, 11 a.m. by the time we get back here. And so, yes, the recovery, you do think about the travel impact in the next week. Well, it's nice to have a bye after kicking off at 11.
And then going throughout this week, I know you mentioned Nick and Makai are dealing with some injuries right now. How do you, handle guys with injuries when, you're not sure whether or not you are going to have them? Just kind of wait and see?
Yeah, and, we'll see what their reps can look like throughout the week. Obviously, other guys are going to be taking turns, and so you make preparations for you. If you got them, this is what it looks like. If we don't got them, well, this guy's going to be in these particular plays. I think both those two guys, Nick and Makai, have gotten a lot of reps moving forward, leading into this, and so moving forward, if they're available to go on Saturday, you'll see them out there.
The last time Smith coached in the LA Memorial Coliseum was back in 2021 when he was with Oregon State. He led the Beavers to a 45-27 victory over the Trojans. That'll be it for this week's show. As always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
Now, the play of the week, sponsored by Schupan & Sons.
They get a victory. Brendan Kilpatrick will send Amari Kelly back. He catches that up over his head, and now is able to turn it around with some momentum. Kelly sees space. One man to beat, and he beats him. And Amari Kelly is gone. No! tripped up at the 5. What a return. Austin Bray keeps him out of the end zone. But Amari Kelly ignites this crowd.
After the Spartans started the second half with a 3-and-out, the defense would force Youngstown State to punt the ball away, and Amari Kelly returned it 83 yards to the 4-yard line. Kelly has been a bright spot for the Spartan offense this season. He caught the game-winning 2-point conversion against Boston College a few weeks back. Heading into this Saturday's game with USC, Kelly has caught 15 passes for 184 yards. He has yet to score a touchdown, but he certainly will be looking to do that Saturday night against the Trojans.
When you're shopping, do you get cash back with cash?
Nope,
What about when you use a debit card?
not a chance.
But when you use MSU FCU's Cashback Plus?
Heck yeah.
Get up to 20% cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Dining out? Cash back. Online shopping? Cash back. Home improvement? Cash back. Discover more at msufcu.org/cashbackplus.